Today on Political Access, we've got a quick one for you here. It's going to be a Cheney and a Sinema matchup, and this was suggested to me in the comments. So let's quickly go through the states. We'll talk a little bit more about it at the end. But first in Alaska, that's going to be a leans for Cheney. Hawaii, safe for Sinema. Washington, Oregon, California, safe for Sinema. Nevada, likely for Sinema. Idaho and Utah, safe for Cheney. Arizona, Sinema would win her home state by a likely margin. Montana, that'll get down under 10, just barely, likely for Cheney. Wyoming, safe for Cheney. Colorado and New Mexico, safe for Sinema. North and South Dakota, safe for Cheney. Nebraska at large, safe for Cheney. The first district, that's outside of Omaha, that will get just under 10, likely for Cheney. The second district, that's the bluer Omaha district, that will be likely for Sinema. Kansas will get just under 10, likely for Cheney. Oklahoma, safe for Cheney. Texas, that'll get low single digits, maybe only 1 or 2 points, leans for Cheney. Up to Minnesota, safe for Sinema. Iowa, that'll be low single digits, leans for Cheney. Missouri will get just under 10 points, likely for Cheney. Arkansas, Louisiana, safe for Cheney. Wisconsin will be leans for Sinema. Illinois, safe for Sinema. Michigan, likely for Sinema. Indiana, likely for Cheney. Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, those will all be red enough to stay safe for Cheney. Florida, that will flip back and go leans for Sinema. Georgia will be leans for Sinema. South Carolina, that'll hit about 9.5 points, just under 10, likely for Cheney. North Carolina will flip blue, only 1 or 2 points, leans for Sinema. Let's go to Ohio. That'll be low single digits as well. Leans for Cheney. West Virginia, that'll be red enough to stay safe for Cheney. Let's go to Maine. At large, safe for Sinema. The first district, safe for Sinema. The second district, tilt for Sinema. New Hampshire, likely for Sinema. Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C., safe for Sinema. Pennsylvania, likely for Sinema. And finally, the last state is Virginia, and that will be likely high single digits for Sinema. And there's your map. That's 350 for Sinema, 188 for Cheney. So Sinema easily wins this matchup. That's how I see it going. Cheney does not at all get that Trump turnout. She would get some of the establishment Republicans. She'd probably get back some of the never Trump Republicans. But I think a lot of them have actually just become Democrats at this point. And the base of the Republican Party, they're not going to come out for Cheney. That would cost her 3 or 4 points across most of these states. In the end, a lot of Republicans would still come out for Cheney because they want to vote against the Democrat Sinema. So she would still carry a lot of these states by safe margins. But some of these states like Kansas, Missouri, Indiana, South Carolina, even Montana, I think those would dip down under 10 points. Not by a lot, but by enough to see some lighter shading here. I can't even guarantee Texas would not flip in this scenario, but I don't think it would. Same with Alaska. Georgia would get to be mid-single digits. Arizona would be mid, even high single digits. Now you might be wondering about the progressives. They're not going to want to turn out for Sinema because she burned some bridges there. She left the Democratic Party. That's true. In some of those progressive areas in the deep blue states, Oregon, Washington, Vermont, her turnout would be reduced. Those voters aren't really going to cross over and support Cheney, but I think the turnout reduction would hurt Cheney a lot more than it would hurt Sinema. Most voters in the middle, the swing voters, the independents, the suburban voters, I think they would swing toward the Democrats. Sinema in this scenario, Cheney's not going to benefit a whole lot from a reduction in progressive turnout if she's going to have a far greater reduction in her own turnout from that Trump base. So this is pretty much a landslide. I don't see how Cheney could win this matchup whatsoever, even if it's a red national environment, even given the running mates and the issues they would run on. I don't know who Cheney is going to fire up just talking about tax cuts and the budget deficit. That's not going to be a winning message at this point. We don't know exactly what kind of messaging Sinema would have, given she's supposed to be an independent at this point. But I think once they got out there and ran a campaign, more voters would be amenable to Sinema over Cheney. I think the only thing that could save Cheney is if there was some kind of criminal scandals involving Sinema, and that being combined with Cheney being some kind of a hero pulling someone out of a burning building. That's the kind of thing it would take to see Cheney pull out a win here. Cheney pretty much kind of just made herself out to be a one-note politician against Donald Trump. And there's a very narrow slice of the electorate that eats that up. So Sinema does win it, but this is just what I think. Let me know in the comments, how do you think this matchup would go? Which states would you change? Is it possible Alaska or Iowa flips? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.